of me in LA. And I heard that there's a special place where boys and girls can all be queens every single day. I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee. Oh, Santa Monica, I swear it's calling me. Won't make my mama proud. It's gotta cause a scene. She sees her baby girl. I know she's gonna scream. God, what have you done? You're a big body girl, and you dance at the club. Oh, mama, I'm just having fun on the stage in my heels. It's where I belong, down at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing down in West Hollywood. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club. Climb up and shows are on the floor. Lovers in the bathroom and a line outside the door. Black lights and a mirror disco ball. Every night's another reason why I left it all. I think my wicked dreams are here from Tennessee. Oh, Santa Monica, you've been too good to me. Won't make my mama proud. It's gonna cause a scene. She sees her baby girl. I know she's gonna scream. God, what have you done? You're a Pink Pony girl, and you dance at the club. Oh, mama, I'm just having fun on the stage in my heels. That's where I belong, down at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing down in West Hollywood. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club.
I'm here today with a heart full of fire and a soul that refuses to be broken. Because even as the flames of fascism rise around us, we are still here. We are still rising, still dancing, still fighting, still loving each other. But let's be real about what this moment is. Fascism doesn't knock politely. It shows up with moral panic. It shows up wrapped in false concern for children. It shows up wearing a suit and tie, writing laws and smiling for the cameras while planning our extinction. And it feeds off of our pain, it feeds off of our fear, it feeds off of our disconnection. But you know what we have to say to that? Not today, not ever. Because we know something they don't. Hope is a discipline, not a feeling. It's a practice, a commitment, a choice we make when everything tells us to give up. Hope is what tells us to hold each other close instead of turning on each other. Hope is what tells us to build bridges, not have purity tests. Hope says we don't need to agree on every tactic or have the same language or be in the same organization to know that we need each other to survive. We will not out-organize fascism by moralizing each other to death. We will not heal by isolating and shaming our wounded. We cannot build the world we need by replicating the cruelty we're trying to destroy. We have to be brave enough to stay in community even when it's hard. We have to fight like hell without losing each other in the process. Because here's the truth. Fascism is hoping that we'll fracture. It's hoping that we'll fight each other instead of organizing together. It's hoping we'll burn bridges over disagreements instead of burning down the system that's killing us. It's hoping that we'll be too tired, too traumatized, too scattered to resist. Our transness, our queerness, our knowledge that a better world exists out there is not just an exception to the rule, it's an indictment of the whole fucking system. And we're not trans or queer in the love is love and we are just like you sense. We are queer and trans in that we will not assimilate into a broken fucking system. A system that hurts everybody wrapped up in it. But those who do not move do not notice their chains. And as we hold on to our joy and build our lives outside of what they tell us we are supposed to be, we shine a light on a better way forward that is a threat to the complicity of everyone whose silence allows this violent, toxic system to continue. We must hold to that joy, to our dreams, to our love, and to our vast imaginations. We all know something else too. We have survived everything thrown at us. We are the children of Star, of Sylvia, and Marcia, and Bubbles, and Bambi, and Endora. Of trans brilliance, of the ballroom, of the riot, of the underground, of mutual aid networks, of the barricades, and the bedtime stories. We are the ones who make something out of nothing and call it family. They think if they ban our books, our bodies, our stories, our care, that they'll break us. But we are not just fighting to survive, we are fighting to thrive. We are fighting for a world where boxes no longer confine us, where our lives are not organized and controlled by profit, where every trans kid gets to grow old, where joy isn't rationed, where healing is collective, where we all get free, all of us. And that fight starts with us not just showing up today, but staying with each other tomorrow. We must refuse to let fear turn us into enemies. We must refuse to let pain be used as fuel for separation. We must resist isolation with care. Because when we say, until all of us are free, none of us are free, that has to mean that even the messy ones, even the traumatized ones, even the ones still learning, we need to find ways to set boundaries so folks cannot continue to harm while still holding space for each other to be messy sometimes and know that we cannot heal in isolation. We know that a better world exists. We know much better ways to show up in our relationships and our community with each other exist. But it's going to take hard work, difficult conversations, a willingness to sit through uncomfortable feelings, a willingness to actually face the hard, scary parts of ourselves, and it's going to take figuring out collectively how to have healthy conflicts with each other. That has to mean us and all of us. So I say this. Keep showing up, keep loving harder, keep organizing with your neighbors, keep holding the line for trans kids, for black trans women, for disabled queer people, for immigrants, for sex workers, for Gaza, for Iran, for all of us. Don't wait to be perfect in the fight. Just get in it because we need you desperately. Because no one's coming to save us but us. And that's the good news because we've got each other. We always have and we always will. We keep us safe. We keep us whole, we are the storm, and we will rebuild. Trans liberation now, free Palestine, no more war, smash fascism, tear capitalism down to the ground, tear down all of the borders, build the world that loves us back. I love you, I believe in you. I'll see you in the streets, in the kitchens, at the protests, at the vigils, at the archives, in the studio, on the picket lines, and at the barricades. We're still here and we're not done yet. Thank you.
And next we have Caesar from Healthcare Workers for Palestine. Caesar. All right, and next we actually have Iman Etahadi.
They should actually hold both microphones.
Hey y'all! How you doing?
Hold mic, both mics. Wow, double fisting the mics. We're doing this. Aren't we so beautiful? Yes, it was such an honor to take the streets with you today. I'm here to speak on behalf of Salon Kawakib, which is an organization that I organize with. We're a group of mostly queer Swana folks who do cultural, educational, political programming here in Chicago. And we are just so honored to be here to stand up for our trans community members and our trans siblings and other communities. We know that the ruling class tries to divide us. We know that they try to pit us against each other. We know that they try to tell us you can only have one thing, you can only focus on one thing, but we keep showing out and telling them, no, all of our struggles are related. None of us are free until all of us are free. Isn't it funny how the same people who are constantly trying to ban trans rights here in America are telling us that we should destroy other countries overseas because they don't treat women well enough or don't treat trans people or gay people well enough? It's almost like they don't actually give a fuck about us and are using our bodies and our struggles as an excuse to make money for the weapons manufacturers and the bankers and all of these people who decide, who think they get to decide who is disposable and who is not. But we know and we show them every day that to fight for a Palestinian child who is starving to death in Gaza after having her home destroyed is actually the same fight, the same struggle as fighting for a trans child here in the US who deserves health care, who deserves freedom, who deserves dignity. We are done with their lies. We are done with their rainbow fucking cop cars. We are standing together for all of our liberation, and we are going to keep doing that until all of us are free. Now I want you to repeat after me. I believe that I believe that we will win. 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 I love all of you. I love you, Chicago. It is an honor to be here with you and come to our events. My comrades in Salon are going to be going around with a beautiful multicolored bag because someone who shall not be named forgot the donation box. However, we are collecting money for mutual aid for Gazan families who made it out of Palestine and are now struggling to survive in Egypt. We have been doing this work communally, and so please donate if you have anything to share today. We prefer cash donations because they just make it easier for the state not to send us to jail. Okay, great. Love you.
Okay, and now we really do have Caesar from Healthcare Workers for Palestine.
Thank you so much. Try to do the two mic thing here. What's up, y'all? My name is Caesar. I'm with Healthcare Workers for Palestine, Chicago. Thank you. We have a new campaign. It's about this despicable company called Teva. Not the sandal company, but the pharmaceutical company that produces about 60% of the generic medications that the North America consumes, and they are an Israeli company. And so if you would like to not participate in that particular chain of nonsense, you can go to boycottiva.org, get all the details. Generally, it's a personal choice that you're allowed to make. You can call your pharmacist or your doctor and ask them to put a note in your file. Obviously, we don't want anyone to go without. No one is suggesting you don't take your medication if it happens to be produced by Teva, but you can get replacements. Even if you have medication already, you can take it back to the doctor if you have that ability. A little louder? Okay. So if you would like more information about that, please go to boycottiva.org. I also have flyers. We have cool buttons. We have no pride in genocide buttons that are Jupiter has back there, if you would like some. And also, let's tell you about the Dyke Strike happening tomorrow. So if you are a little sick of corporate pride, like a lot of us, you want something else to do, at 3 o'clock tomorrow, you can come to the AIDS Garden to check out the second Dyke Strike. We had one last year as well. There's going to be workshops, and we're going to have garment mending and repair. We're going to have somatics. We're going to have capoeira even. There's going to be so many cool things to do there. Some performances. I want everybody to be safe, so bring some water, bring a chair or a blanket. And yeah, just come see us tomorrow. And there'll be more from healthcare workers and Chicago Dyke March Collective at the Dyke Strike as well tomorrow. So thank you so much.
Next, we have, I think, Angel from Chicago Dyke March. Is Angel from Chicago Dyke March here?
Angel! Angel!
Can you raise your hand if you are Angel from Chicago Dyke March? We are making our way over here. This is what autonomy looks like, by the way. Oh yeah, we're gonna come back to Angel from Chicago Dyke March Collective. Do we have Larry Trice among us? Larry Trice, Genderfuck Productions. We're still waiting for some people. Okay, is Corey here? Okay. Next we have Corey from Midwest. Oh shit, hold on. Oh, from Birth Roots Collective, sorry. Here comes Corey. Woo! Hi, Corey. How are you? What do you know?
My dog, sorry, my dog's gonna lose her mind. 2 weeks ago in Georgia, Adriana Smith, a 30-year-old black woman who became brain dead at 8 weeks of pregnancy due to medical neglect, and whose organs were kept alive for 4 months due to the state's draconian anti-abortion laws, was finally allowed to pass away. Her very premature baby had been delivered by C-section, so her value to the state of Georgia as an incubator had been fulfilled. 2 days later, the Supreme Court upheld Tennessee's law banning gender-affirming care for transgender youth, clearing the way for ongoing medical discrimination against trans youth in over half of the United States. Side by side, these two events are just two examples of the vast attacks on bodily autonomy that we have been experiencing as part of MAGA's agenda in the last several months. As a midwife who defends reproductive rights and provides gender-affirming care, I think of these two parallel tracks. On the one hand, devaluing the life of a black pregnant woman unless she is able to gestate. On the other, finding new ways to codify the gender binary and erase trans people. There have been 116 anti-trans laws passed so far in 2025, more than twice the number that passed in all of the last year, in 2024. At the same time, Project 2025 seeks to ban medication abortion, has including a medication called misoprostol that has wide uses in obstetrics, including for induction of labor and managing postpartum hemorrhage. And it begs the question of, like, what the heck? Why is this obsession with what we are doing with our hormones, our reproductive organs? Why are abortion and the very existence of trans people so threatening? And look at us, we're so beautiful. These affronts to our bodily autonomy, most severely experienced by racialized and multiply oppressed people, are part of a broader strategy most clearly described by Project 2025. This hateful project is using our existence for two purposes, as far as I can tell. Of course, as a distraction, because are we the problem? I don't think so. And secondly, really because they're trying to get us all back to privatized social reproduction, right? Where we are just counting on there all of these anti-feminist and anti-trans ideology is being used to that was like what was used to keep Adriana Smith hooked up to life support. All of this is designed to uphold a very old system that is very outdated. We have no use for it. That we are supposed to believe that our private needs can only be met in a two-person, cisgender, heterosexual household. We know, and I think this demonstration proves beautifully, that we can do so much better than that. Taking care of ourselves here by providing blankets and chairs and nourishment and hydration. This shows a different type of world that we can do. We see past the illusion of the gender binary, not just because we are beautiful, but because we are on the right side of history. There is a saying in the immigrant rights movement, we didn't cross the border crossed us. And I think the same is true about gender. We didn't cross gender, gender has crossed us. Continuing to uphold the gender binary as somehow natural, normal, and needing to be enforced, rather than something that has to be, crafted and constantly policed, serves no one's interests other than those at the very top of society, as they try to squeeze more and more out of the rest of us by cutting. Fuck off! You have no imagination and you are not welcome here. Well, they are trying to gut Medicaid and cut. You tell them, pageant. They are trying to gut Medicaid, nonprofits, and government agencies that provide vital life-saving services. We reject all of the Trump agenda, all of what Project 2025 has in mind. We call for liberation, an end to the gender binary, and for the end of deportation. We call for an end to militarization, an end to genocide. We call for meeting our human needs with our brilliant resources. Thank you.
Great job, thank you. Even dogs hate transphobes. Okay, please give a round of applause for Midwest Access Coalition, if you've heard of them. And please welcome Walker.
Hello. My name is Walker. I use they, them pronouns. I am proud to say that I am a non-binary trans person, and I'm also proud to say that I have had an abortion. Like most of us, I have been really fucking exhausted lately. I have personally been bombarded by such intense hate and disrespect just for being trans, for being non-binary, for calling myself a trans masked lesbian. TikTok does not like that. For not fitting into boxes that not only the cisheads are forcing us into, but also other gay people. We are all so desperate to feel accepted and that our identities are valid, that we force others to fit into boxes that no one should have to be confined by. It is so incredibly difficult to spread love when the world has shown us so much hate. Just this morning, I felt like I didn't want to keep going. Definitely not for the first time in my life. I thought I was ready to give up. I reached out to my community and I asked for support, and trans people all over the world responded to tell me what brought them joy. They told me about the love they feel seeing their trans loved ones thrive. People told me about their gender-affirming surgeries and HRT appointments and laser hair removal and the joy that that brought to them. And what really healed my heart today were the stories of the young gender-expansive people, children as young as 7 years old that are experimenting with their gender and new pronouns, teens that grew braver by seeing trans adults living their authentic truth, and for the first time were able to see a future for themselves. I came here today to talk about being a trans person who has had an abortion. I plan to talk about the reproductive justice crisis that the trans community is facing, how the lack of queer sex ed and trans competent reproductive health care can lead to so much harm for our communities. I wanted to talk to you about my organization, Midwest Access Coalition, a trans and queer-led abortion fund that offers free contraception and harm reduction to people across the country. I wanted to talk to you about how we keep us safe. Today, I stand by that statement now more than ever. Not only do we educate each other on HRT, sexual health, abortion access, mutual aid, but we keep each other going. Today, the trans community and all of you are what keeps me going. As trans folks, it's easy for us to feel invisible in this current landscape. And I just want to say that I see you and Midwest Access Coalition sees you, but our community responsibility stretches beyond us. Trans rights cannot be separated from reproductive justice. Palestinian liberation and immigrant rights cannot be separated from trans liberation and reproductive justice. Gender affirming care is reproductive health care, is collective liberation. Thank you so much for finding the strength to be here today and every day, and for letting me tell you my story. Thank you.
Okay, up next we have Scout from Chicago Women's Health Center. Give it up for Scout. Scout is one of my favorite people.
Hi all, thank you. Okay, two at a time. Okay, hi, my name is Scout, and I am a collective member at CWHC, which is a feminist health collective born out of the Jane Abortion Service, an underground network of folks from Chicago connecting people to abortion care in the late 60s and 70s. Love you, Jane. I spend most of my time working with 4th through 12th graders in Chicago public schools, teaching queer inclusive, gender expansive sex ed. Each class is building an intergenerational movement for justice, for gender justice, for reproductive justice, for education justice. With each class, we are infusing RJ, Reproductive Justice's enthusiastic, unwavering commitment to the idea that you, each and every one of you, your bodies and your relationships matter. One of the people who trained me in this work said, everything is sex ed, and sex ed is everything. That's right. I said sex ed is everything. And with every classroom and every student connection, we are showing young people that their lives, that their bodies, and that their relationships are worthy of dignity and respect. In late November 2024, a 6th grader submitted an anonymous question. They asked, are you still going to teach sex ed next year? I mean, will Trump's anti-LGBTQ plus laws prohibit you from talking about queer people and gender-affirming care? I think about that young person, and I think about the young person I was. When I was getting sex ed, I was closeted. I was in a gender-divided sex ed class that said nothing about consent, focused only on abstinence, and relied heavily on gender norms. Boo! I stand here today, a proud trans non-binary educator, committed to ensuring all sex ed is queer sex ed. Committed to showing trans and queer kids across the country that we as educators, as adults, as healthcare providers, as queer elders are here for them. We are not going anywhere. To be very clear, we need each other to make this happen. I need you, and you need me, and we need each other to win. So I will try to bring to each and every classroom and show young folks that right now they are a part of building a more just, bodily autonomy-filled future. And to that sixth grader in November, I said yes. I wanted to say hell yes, but I said just yes in a public school. I said yes, I will continue to be here. I will continue to teach sex ed, continue to teach queer sex ed, and continue to put my everything into sex ed. Because, of course, sex ed is everything. Will you be with me? Let me hear you. Will you be with me?
Thank you. Thank you. All right, next we have a pillar of the community and a long-standing fighter for gay, trans, every single sort of flavor of rainbow umbrella people humanly possible, Andy Thayer from the Gay Liberation Network. Give it up for Andy! It's a long way, sorry. There we go.
Thank you so much. And thank you to the people who organized today. Let's give them a round of applause, please. No foundation grants went into this, I can assure you, which says something about our movement today, both good and bad. There was an article in this morning's Chicago Sun-Times about an undocumented trans person from Venezuela who now fears being deported. Now, we know that you all here, you're intersectional. You stick up for people of multiple backgrounds, but we know also that there are other trans organizations that are tied at the hip with the Democratic Party who, when they're holding a trans rally, can't say the word defend immigrants, can't say stand up for Palestine. They refuse to say those things. And I've got to say that is the antithesis of what the Stonewall Rebellion is all about. Now, little history now. The Stonewall Rebellion, was it the first time trans people fought back? Actually, there were 3 rebellions before Stonewall. Most people don't know about them. At the Compton cafeteria riot, trans people played a pivotal role at that, as they did at Stonewall. So what made Stonewall unique? We had all these different riots before that. What made Stonewall unique, in my view, was the intersectionality and the constant organizing that came out of it. Because we'd gotten our heads bashed in any number of times before then. That was nothing new. Cops raiding bars, that was nothing new. Trans people fighting back, other people fighting back, that was nothing new. What was new was that people had learned lessons through the course of the various struggles, including right here in this city. Before the Chicago 1968 Democratic Convention, while the Black Panther Party had been around for several years already, there wasn't even a Black Panther Party chapter here in the city of Chicago. A year later, just over a year later, the Black Panther Party was so large and so significant that they felt compelled on the other side to assassinate Fred Hampton and Mark Clark. What happened in between? What happened in between was that people had their heads busted by the goddamn Chicago Democratic Party and its blue people in blue thugs, and people figured out that if we're going to free ourselves, we have to do it. Neither party was going to do it. Obviously, people didn't have any confidence in Nixon, but they figured out that also the Democrats weren't going to save them either. Fast forward today, those of us who have been fighting for Palestine in solidarity with our Palestinian sisters and brothers and people of no gender, we know that the Democrats, as well as the Republicans, they'll murder people. They've proven it with Palestine. So what's to say they won't go after any other movement that you happen to be part of with the same kind of viciousness? The same kind of viciousness. That should be a lesson for all of us. That our movements, if they're going to be strong, if they're going to be powerful, have to be independent of both parties. They have to be intersectional, because Stonewall wasn't just about LGBTQ liberation. It was about solidarity with the Black Panther Party. It was queer people out on those picket lines, queer people out against the Vietnam War, I should say the U.S. war on Vietnam. It was queer people who radicalized the feminist movement that then in turn brought us Roe v. Wade. It was clearly the intersectionality, because very few of us just fit into one oppressed box. Most queer people share multiple oppressions. So just like that trans woman in that Sun-Times article this morning, they're not going to be served by the trans-only organizations any more than they're going to be served by only immigrant organizations. We have to have the intersectionality that speaks to everyone in our rainbow community, because the rainbow, aside from people who are white, is the vast majority of people, not just in this country, but around the world. Thank you very much, and happy Pride, y'all.
Okay, next we have Sky from Rebirth Garments. Give it up for Sky! Do you want me to bring the mic? Okay. I'm pressing buttons. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Hi, I'm Sky Kabakuk, and I use they, them, and they-them pronouns. I'm a xenogender, disabled, mad, and neurodivergent mixed Filipinx and white queer from Chicago on Meskwaki land. I am the creator of Rebirth Garments, a clothing line for queer and trans disabled folks of all sizes and ages, which is now in its 11th year. I first dreamed of creating this clothing line when I was in high school and couldn't find a place where I could buy a chest binder as a person who was under 18 and who didn't have access to a credit card to buy one online. I was also unsatisfied with the boring options available that were largely white, black, or a racist version of beige. I wanted to create custom-made to measure garments that were not just functional but actively cute and celebratory of trans, disabled, and fat identities. At the time, most of the people I encountered in school did not know that disabled people could be queer and did not know that disabled people could have sex or have a gender, as it turns out. So I ended up writing a manifesto called Radical Visibility, a queer crip dress reform movement, to talk about the ideology behind my clothing line and as a call to action. Radical visibility is about taking up space, physical space, visible, auditory, textural space, as PGM, queer, and trans disabled folks of all sizes and ages. It's about refusing to be ignored and refusing to assimilate to the cis heteronormative patriarchal ableist status quo. This is all with the goal of being able to find each other in order to band together and organize.
By always being radically visible, I have found the community I grew up so desperately wanting, which in turn has helped me organize and mobilize the mutual aid work I do for my friends in Palestine. Check out allmylinks.com/QueerCripsLovePal to see all of the vetted fundraisers that I help out with, and I have trifolds and flyers that I'll give you later. Focusing on tangible support of families surviving genocide can ground you. So you can also look at the flyers that I'm going to give you to be paired with a family to fundraise for. Direct donations to Palestinian families give them the autonomy to decide how it is best spent. It is important to donate to the family funds even if evacuation is not a goal, because survival is always the main goal. For now, I wanted to highlight two of the fundraisers that I work on. Saeed is a 28-year-old queer, non-binary artist who lived and studied in Vermont, Turkey, and Minnesota before gaining a disability brought them back to Gaza in 2021. Their mother has been dealing with breast cancer for 3 years, and because of health, they both decided to stay in their Gaza City home through the city's destruction. Saeed feels incredibly lonely and isolated, not only from safety issues keeping them inside, but also from their queer community. So you should DM them and become friends with them. Nara is a 34-year-old disabled mom of two super cute kids that I will call Jamila and Janan for safety reasons, who are 7 and 13. Nara and I have become fast friends due to so many similar symptoms. We text daily. I send her and her kids photos of my dog. Her kids send me back cute voice recordings of songs about my dog, drawings of us all together, fashion designs they want me to make, and their dreams for the future. During our chats, Nara shared that while she had not had health issues until she was exposed to a white phosphorus attack in 2008. Shortly after, she developed pancreatic cancer and MS, which resulted in an emergency late-term abortion, which she is still dealing with 17 years later. You can read more about her story in the memoir she wrote. Her daughters, Jamila and Janan, have remotely designed an entire fashion collection together that I'm fabricating, including the dress that I am wearing today. They designed the dress with the cute bunny face, and they also designed the fabric print, which I got printed and then fabricated. You can see their first ever fashion collection debuted along with 16 other youth and teen fashion designers from my Chicago Public Library Radical Fit Fashion Incubator at Queer Radical Fair on July 31st from 4:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Ping Tom Memorial Park. We'll be mask strongly encouraged, but we actively hand out KN95s because I'm very immunocompromised. And it will also be live streamed on London TV for the comrades at home who cannot leave due to the ongoing pandemic. We will have free binders and gaps available to anyone while supplies last. So come out and show your support for the youth while keeping them safer from the bigots who want our fashion incubator shut down. And if you have a friend, a teen or youth in your life who wants to make fashion, get in touch with me and we can make it happen.
I'm almost 40, bear with me. Okay. Give me like 10 seconds to recover. No, it's not you. It's all good. Okay, so next to the stage, we are welcoming Taya Jones-Elvington. Taya does caregiver justice, and Taya is phenomenal. Please welcome her.
Oh, which one is this one? Oh. Hello.
So it's a hard time to be a trans person, but no one can stop trans joy. Two joyful things happened to me last year. One is I started medical transition and I fell in love. My partner isn't trans, but he is a full-time caregiver to his mom who has Parkinson's. And because, like many family caregivers, my partner is poor and Medicaid dependent, I've been as worried as much for him this year as I am for myself. Because let me tell you something, the attack on trans people is not about trans people, not really. They don't care about trans people. They don't know anything about trans people. They care about power. And the fastest way to power is to pick off the most vulnerable. And when they come for trans people, it's the most vulnerable trans people who are the first to bear the brunt of their attack. Black trans women, trans children, disabled trans people, trans elders, trans caregivers, trans people on Medicaid. The state has been exploiting trans misogyny for literal centuries. They cast us as inherently sexualized and threatening simply for existing. And they do it to protect imperialism and racial capitalism. We are fighting fascism. We are fighting a billionaire and political class who, as author Kai-Ching Tom has said, are trying to kill us by depriving us of what we need to live. We refuse to be divided and conquered. Genocide is already underway. We will not let them sacrifice us. We will demand everything. Thank you.
Is anyone from Parallel Play here? Parallel Play, where are you folks at? All good. Next we have Keenan Carpenter from the Transmass Alliance Sports. Keenan, are you here? Okay, well, then after that we have Rabbi from Chicago Activist Coalition for Justice. Give it up for Rabbi. Yeah, he's right there. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Rabbi Michael Ben Yosef, human rights activist here in Chicago. And I do mean human rights. Human rights needs to be given the utmost respect here. And I stand here with you today to ensure that your safety, that your voice is heard. As an African advocate here in Chicago, we emphatically stand with you while you continue to fight for justice, for equality, and to be seen. We stand in complete solidarity with our trans brothers, our queer brothers and sisters, and the LGBTQ community emphatically and now and forever. There's a revolutionary person I like to quote in these type of situations, and that person is Ashanta Shakur. And I want to recite what she said about what it means to be a revolutionary. This is the resistance. And she said, and I want you to repeat after me, is our duty to fight?
It's our duty to fight.
It's our duty to fight.
It's our duty to fight.
For our freedom. It's our duty to win. And we must love each other. and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. God bless you and keep you. May the Almighty bless your movement. This is my hope and this is my prayer. God bless.
And next we have Zoe from Antifa. Zoe, are you here? Zoe's here. Amazing. Very excited. Also, there are snacks and drinks, just so everyone knows. Over here. And here's Zoe. Everybody give it up for Zoe.
What, you're holding? Yeah, okay. You want me to hold it for you? That would be great, actually, because I only have so many hands, and I don't think the third hand didn't come with the third leg. I think that's fair. Okay, you know, totally. Hi! It's so nice to be here. As y'all can see, I'm fucking disabled. And as a disabled person, I can't express my authentic gender because I need to pass as a woman, as the right kind of woman, in order to receive and access the medical care I require to fucking survive. This is an example of the same risk all trans people take in some way by expressing our authentic selves. Some of us don't even get a choice about what to risk, as many intersex people have been subjected to unnecessary cosmetic surgeries as infants to align their genitals to conform with cis heterogender norms. Fascism works by defining and limiting people into productive boundaries. Tools of the state. Both queer people and disabled people pose the same risk to fascism and a fascist state. Thanks. Queer people and disabled people pose the same threat to the state and to fascism. We inherently threaten their categorization of people into productive boundaries so that they can make use of us by existing outside of those boxes. So the state wields power against us to try to force us back into those categories that it can control. It's not just that the state permits and often actively condones violence against trans people and disabled people. It's the ways that that violence is baked into the mechanisms of the state itself. Like public indecency laws that allow cops to specifically target trans people for simply existing, and the higher likelihood that disabled people will die when interacting with police. Fascism seeks to make being trans a disability, and disabled people like me don't truly count as people to this society because I'm not as productive a wage earner. But you and I are people, not drones of capital. This is precisely why liberation must be collective. As long as anyone is deemed subhuman, whether because they can't work, they aren't from here originally, they don't act the way you would expect from their appearance, we must continue to fight because we deserve to live the lives that we choose and not constantly be threatened for that choice. We fight by refusing to conform, by not letting ourselves be limited to the boundaries fascism sets out for us, by taking the risk to express ourselves fully where we can, to show others that we exist here. We are allowed
to exist here, and that their categories don't actually define what a person is. That's up to each and every one of us to choose who we are and to choose to acknowledge the humanity in each and every one of us. Thank you so much. Have fun punching your local Nazi.
Okay, do we have any speakers here who have not yet spoken, who are kind of moved down the list a little bit because they didn't show up immediately? Yeah. Psych check? Yeah, cool. How's everyone doing? Can you hear me? Can everyone hear? Woo! Woo, 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 woo. Hello.
I am Angel from Chicago Dyke March. We have a table in the back there. We have Narcan, testing strips, snacks, sunscreen. So feel free to stop on by and visit us. I'll be reading a poem, so I hope y'all will like it. All right, thank you. All right. To be trans is to be a reflection of the universe, healers of our community, storytellers of liberation for a less violent future by dreaming of trans spaces within a cis world. To be trans is a reflection of our ancestors. They prayed for us and remind us of our magic. I read poetry by trans writers on the Blue Line. I protest with trans homies for free Congo, free Palestine, free Sudan. I light a candle for my trans siblings in prison. I honor and adorn my trans body with oils made by trans healers. To be trans is to be disrespected, gawked at, and misunderstood. To feel the projected insecurities of the cis body as we affirm our trans bodies with style, grace, and tender care. To be trans is to release relationships that no longer serve us, grieving family and friends that don't love me the way my queer homies do. To be trans is to fall in love with dreamers and drifters on the path to liberation. To be trans is to be everything I've said and everything I've missed. We are messy, complicated, angry, and exhausted of healing. To be trans is to be obsessed over legislation on gender-affirming care and reproductive rights. So we march for our trans youth and our trans siblings. We march for those who aren't out yet. For the trans dykes, the dolls, trans masks, our gender fluid and non-binary friends. Because our liberation is intertwined. So we fight alongside. Like when our elders took care of each other, when the government dismissed the AIDS crisis. Like when we campaign, when we go missing, and share mutual aid for gender-affirming care, when our trans youth find a family who love them for who they are. So I ask you, what is your path to liberation, and can I join the journey with you? Thank you.
All right, that is the end of our speaker set. Give it up for all the speakers! Okay, so today we at Stop Trans Genocide tried to create a place for hope, righteous anger, queer angst, trans joy, and things that cannot be expressed, seen, or felt in many countries, places, and homes across the world. Every step of this event was done with intentionality. We had an abolitionist safety team. We refused to name singular organizers. We put disability justice at the forefront by putting mobility assist ahead of everyone else to set the pace, so no one gets left behind. We even chose our speakers very mindfully. We want to show everyone a better world is possible. Even in the face of rising state repression, community is everything. So I want to give a special thanks to my co-organizers, Janelle, Andy, Decima, Georgette, Corrigan, Allie, MK, my kids, and Peter. So this final section is going to be a song that's very near and dear to my heart. So we actually had a vision of an all trans and non-binary choir to sing a song to remind us all that even when things feel so fatal, so terminal, that we each matter regardless. We are the makers of history. We save each other. We keep us safe, and we are better together. I would like to also take a moment to remind you all that it is okay to feel your feelings, especially right at this moment. So, without further ado, here is our Trans Liberation Choir to sing our ending song, Finale B from the smash hit musical Rent.
There is no future, there is no past, and at this moment's not the last. There's only us, there's only this, forget, regret, all life is yours to miss. No other road, no other way, no day but today. Will I lose my dignity? Will someone care? Will I wake tomorrow from this nightmare? There's only now, there's only here, giving to love or live in fear. No other path, no other way, no day but today, no day but today, no day but today, no day but today, no day but today.
We're messy, give it up!
All right, we're going to have some performances now. We just got to switch over the PA. So if you just give us a minute, and then we'll have a DJ. There's some food over here. So we have stuff for, we'll call it a charcuterie board because the bread didn't show up. So we got cheese, veggies, hummus, lettuce, meat.